Hey guys. Hey. It is Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. It's beautiful here in Nashville today. I'm so excited. And so today we're going to be talking about, for those just tuning in, hey, this is Dear Jelly with DJ Jelly. And I am so excited to talk about today's topic because there's just so many ways that this can be looked at. And I realized that originally the way that I was looking at this situation, what we're talking about today, is we're talking about receiving promise rings. Receiving promise rings after the age of 30. Receiving promise rings. Promise rings opposed to an engagement ring. Are we for it? Do we think there are good reasons behind it? Or do you think it's not necessary? What could it mean? What could it mean to you? What could it mean to others? Are you just like, no way, Jose? I'm an adult. Give me something else. So that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about promise rings. Promise rings after 30. Are you here for it? Are you not? Let me know. You listen to Dear Jelly on the X. Hey, Jenna. I was like, where is everybody today? Living their beautiful lives. Y'all out here being great. How's your Sunday going? I don't see Vinyl Tap. Looking for the ad that they're supposed to be. Hey, Tia. I appreciate your support. Oh, Lord. You're listening to WXNALP Nashville 101.5 FM. This is Dear Jelly. Hey. This is DJ Jelly. I hope that you are having a wonderful evening. And I'm just grateful that you have logged in today. Any day that you log in makes my day a great day because I wouldn't want to do this without you. Couldn't do this without you. It just would not be as fun. Tracking back, that was T Maya with Sweet Us. Sweet Us. Shout out to those logged in and ready for a live conversation on TGI Jelly on Facebook as well as on YouTube. We appreciate you so much. And shout out to Jenna. Sorry, Jenna in Georgia. She's in Atlanta, and she says, we got to have our Sunday dose of Dear Jelly. And I appreciate it because, little quiet as it's kept, I need my Sunday dose of you. So, hey, I see who's online. We're so excited. So, hey, Jenna. Hey, Tia. Hey, VL. Hey, Nora. Hey, Jasmine. Super excited y'all are here. So, what are we talking about today? We are talking about promise rings. Hey, Kina. We're talking about promise rings. Promise rings. So, basically what ended up happening was I had a conversation with someone, and she is aware that we're going to be discussing it today. And I did ask as many deep questions as I could ask respectfully. So she is over 30, and her boyfriend of 6 months presented her with a promise ring. So my initial response was, what does it mean? I know, does that sound like a bad question? What does it mean? Why? What is that supposed to mean? We're over 30. And in all honesty, I hadn't heard of anyone getting a promise ring past 19, 20. And that was more so because they were, in college. And so it was like, oh, we're in college. So when we graduate. So yeah, my question was, what does it mean? Why, what is it supposed to mean? Because, we have jobs and homes. You're both homeowners. And I just wanted to know, what does it mean when an adult gives a promise ring? Are y'all here for that? Are you here for receiving a promise ring? What does a promise ring mean? Now, it could possibly mean something different to everybody else. I just want to know, like, let's say said person that you're with, guy or gal, comes and it's like, hey, you mean the world to me, and I just want to present you with this promise ring. What's your reaction? Because I'm just going to tell you, initially, I would be thinking it was an engagement ring, right? But it's not an engagement ring. It's a promise ring. So it's like promising to, what is the response? Help me know what the correct response is if said gentleman pulls out a promise ring, because I could just see myself saying, you're promising to what? And that might ruin the mood. So help me understand, what is the appropriate response to getting a promise ring? And why would you want a promise ring? When I asked her, what does it mean? She said that she thinks it means, what did she say? She thinks it means that, he's serious about her. So that's great. But if you're dating me, my assumption is you're serious about me. Okay. So what does it mean? What could it mean? What am I missing? Help me understand. Is there an age where promise rings should be obsolete? Or is this something that we should be embracing? Like, oh, maybe he's not ready right now and he'll be ready later. I don't know. I need help understanding what this means. What does the promise ring mean? What is your initial reaction if said gal or girl or guy presents you with a promise ring? What do you think your reaction is going to be? Do you wear a promise ring on your left ring finger? Or is that reserved specific? I mean, y'all help me out with this, because clearly, this promise ring was given out of love, affection. She really wasn't sure what she was supposed to think about it, other than that, oh, he's just trying to make a commitment or show me that he's serious about me. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. What are your thoughts? Here's Love Rhythm by Rotimi. I mean, should we be celebrating with some love rhythms that this person has brought a promise ring? Let me know what you think. Help me out with this situation. You're talking to Dear Jelly on the X. Y'all are cracking me up because I'm not gonna lie, this person is 50. I didn't want to say that on the air though, but she's 50 and she took a promise ring. And she walked up to me and was like, well, wrong hand. And I was like, you're engaged, right? Because that's, if you walk up to me like this, like, Jelly, I'm going to be like, you're engaged. And she was like, no, we're not engaged. So I was like, what is it? And she was like, it's a promise. So I was confused. So I said, what does it mean? And she was like, I didn't ask, but I just thought it was sweet that he gave me a promise ring. Baby, yeah. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. I don't think it's sweet. Like, what would be the purpose of a promise ring, though? I'm happy for her. I just didn't understand. And I think mainly also because, I mean, I don't have no promise ring. I don't have no regular ring right now. I've been engaged. I'm not right now. I just didn't understand. And then I was curious, and she knows, like I said, she knows I'm going to talk about this today. And she couldn't tell me what it meant. Low, go low, go low. And she couldn't tell me what it meant. So it's not like this is something that they discussed, because she didn't even know what it meant. So that's where conversation comes in with you and said, significant other. But I mean, I guess it could mean a number of things though, right? That's all I'm saying. There's no judgment. Because, like I said, I'm naked. And even if I wasn't naked, still, that's your life. You like it, I love it. You love it, I like it. But what does it mean? Joyce! Like, I'm just trying to understand why one would do a ring at all. If it's not like an engagement ring, like what are some other things behind it? I'm trying to get an understanding. You're listening to WXNA LP Nashville 101.5 FM, and tracking back, that was Rotimi with Love Rhythm. Love Rhythm. Support for WXNA comes from Vinyl Tap, located at 2308 Greenwood Avenue in East Nashville. Vinyl Tap serves up a large selection of beverages, pub fare, and vinyl with live music and DJs every night. On the last Friday of the month from 6 to 11 p.m., WXNA DJs will be spinning at Vinyl Tap with proceeds supporting the station. More information at vinyltapnashville.com. So if you're just tuning in, we're having a conversation. We're just having a conversation in reference to someone telling me how they received a promise ring from their significant other. They are over 30. And when I asked, what does it mean? When they got a promise ring, they really didn't know what it meant. So I just kind of got curious. What does it mean to get a promise ring from someone over 30? What could it mean? What would you think if someone approached you and they gifted you a promise ring? We got some pretty awesome people joining the conversation. Jenna says, right, what does it mean? And that was my question. Like, what does it mean? Nora says, that's a fair question. It is a fair question. Jenna says, I got one at 17 to 18. So, Jenna, when you got a promise ring at 17 to 18, what exactly did that mean? What was the person promising? Like, what were they saying? And how did that pan out? Nora says, I'm too old for one. At my age of 30, marry me or move on. Marry you or move on. Joyce messaged in and she says she believes it is naive and sweet or sinister and weird. So she wants to know, like, what do y'all, which one do y'all think? So Joyce, which one do you think? You think it's naive and sweet or sinister and weird? I'm just curious, like, what could be some reasons for a promise ring? Tia says promise ring equates to a holding place marker as an adult. So it's a holding place marker as an adult. So is that like saying like I'm not trying to be with anybody else. It's my way of just affirming to you that this is a monogamous relationship, like I really want to be with you. Is that what that means? Help me out here. Jenna says, yeah, it's a no for me. At this time, we are accepting engagement rings. If you aren't ready for that, don't give me a ring. Wait. Okay, and I can understand that. Over 30, because I'm just trying to get a clear understanding of what it because it might actually, like, diving in, we might actually come to find that it's a sweet thing. Like the person that showed me hers, like I said, she didn't know what it meant. She just took it because she's like, well, he gave it to me. So she was excited, that he gave it to her, but she didn't know what it meant. And she didn't want to ask either. Keena says, I'm here for jewelry, but a promise ring means nothing to me. I'm not 16 wearing my boyfriend's class ring. It's putting me on layaway in public. Ooh. Isn't the same thing an engagement ring is doing, though? Is an engagement ring also kind of putting you on layaway? Like on layaway to be his wife or to be her husband or be her, be their spouse? VO says, I would appreciate the gesture, intent, and gift if she presented me with a promise ring. But what would you ask what it meant, though? Like, would you expect to understand? I mean, so you will be okay with a woman saying, hey, I got you a promise ring, baby. I mean, I'm just, what? You'll be okay with that. We have no problem with that. I don't know if I'm, Bill, I don't know. Tia says, I mean, people stay engaged for extended periods of time when both partners are in agreement. So why not just do an engagement ring? And that's my thing. So maybe I'm missing something. Like maybe there's another sweeter reason to the whole promise ring that we haven't tapped into yet. Sorry, my hair is having issues with this headset. Is there something else that we're missing? Maybe we're missing something. Jenna says, oh, that's a nah to the nah. Keenan says, I literally spit my water out. That is hilarious. Nora says, a promise ring at that age, no judgment, just shocked at the man. That's what I'm saying. I am. Okay, so Joyce says, definitely too early for an engagement ring. Okay, so Joyce, are you saying that, say you're feeling somebody, you're just feeling them, and it's just like, this feels so right, but it might be too early for an engagement ring, so that will be a great reason to present them with a promise ring, because you don't want to scare them with an engagement ring, but it's just your way of letting them know you're feeling them. That could be sweet. I can see that, right? I can see that. Keita says, tomorrow ain't Keita says, tomorrow ain't promised, and that's the Lord. Oh. True. VL says, I will be happy for her without judgment. No, we're not. There's no judgment. We're just having a conversation. There's no judgment. We're happy for them. We're happy that they're together. But what does it mean? Or does it have to mean anything at all? As an adult, as a teenager, what did a promise ring mean? And is it something different now? Joyce says, yes, she thinks that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Joyce, I think it's what you're saying. So Joyce is saying that she believes it'll be a sweet gesture, like if it's too early for an engagement ring, that a promise ring might be a nice way of letting that person know how you feel about them and that you're serious about them. So that's pretty cool. Tia says, how long have they been dating? 6 months. Is it too early for an engagement ring? I don't think 6 months is too early, but for some people, 6 months is too early. But I personally am not one of those who believes that. So maybe they've been together 6 months. Maybe he did do the promise ring because it's only been 6 months, and maybe for her or for him, it's too early for an engagement. Joyce says, ladies love the jewelry. We do. We do. Men love jewelry too. So I can understand it. Jenna says, I'm fighting somebody if you give me a promise ring at 50. And I don't fight, but we fighting that day. Jenna, when you say fighting, are you meaning figuratively fighting? Like you're fighting for love? You know, like it was that Jennifer Hudson, we gon' fight. Oh, let me pull that up next. Because you just said we fighting. So we fighting for love. So that's why I'm going to play that song, We Gon' Fight. Because I don't even know if that's what you're saying, Jenna. But because Jenna says she fighting, and I know, and I have a feeling that she's being funny, and she really means like, put your dukes up, bruh. You give me an engagement, a promise ring at a later age. We gonna fight. We gonna fight. Let me see. Who is this? Nora says, I want to hear from the man. I need an explanation from him. Make it make sense. It made sense. Like, clearly it made sense to her. She, like I said, she didn't ask. She didn't want to hurt his feelings, so she didn't ask. I would have asked, because I sure asked her. So what did it mean? She said, I don't know. Kina, what makes it problematic is that she can't even explain what it means. Lack of communication and a lot of misinformation, it seems like to me. Because she was thrown off, but she was excited. Like, my boo gave me some jewelry, and it's beautiful. It's a nice ring. I don't know what it means. Jenna says, right, Nora, he needs to make it make sense. Hey, Markeisha. And so that's the thing. We don't know what it means. What does it mean? Like I said, we're going to fight. So let's, we're going to fight. Here's Jennifer Hudson, we're going to fight. You listen, Dear Jelly on the X. One second, I need water. A promise ring means just that. Means what? What does a promise ring mean? What does a promise ring mean? I promise? Jagged Edge had a song. They promise. Is that what it means? Hey, we gonna fight. mean nothing. Hey, Kiara. What are you promising, though? That's what I want to know. That's what I'm saying. What is the promise? Me and you go. Well, what is the promise? We gonna fight. I want to know what does it mean? Like if you say a promise ring means just that, it means just what? Or is it like I promise? Sorry, I love that song. Is it I promise to keep doing what we're doing? Keep it going? What are we promising? Excuse me. And when you were a teenager, Jenna, I forgot how banging this song is. Let me turn it down in my ears. If you want to listen to music, you can log on to wxnafm.org. I don't play the music in the studio anymore because Facebook be knocking all my people off. It was cute as a teenager. We weren't ready to be engaged or married. So the promise ring as a teenager was basically just saying, like, I promise to be true to you. I promise to like you. I promise to walk you to school. Keita said, "Nuck if you buck Jenna Morgan. I feel your tag team. Y'all fighting." So if he comes to the ring at 50 or 40, y'all fighting. We knucking and bucking and ready to fight. Really, guys? Yes. Now let me make it clear. He was promising to marry you when you were ready. So y'all was 17, and he was like, I'm marry you when we ready. But we're not married. You're not married. So he's still not ready? Is there an expiration date on the promise rings? No, Jenna. I understand. Oh, that's Nora. I don't understand what VL's saying. I haven't read what his comment is though. Why do we have to have jury? Why we just can't be in a relationship? Why we gotta have jury? You listen to WXNA LP Nashville 101.5 FM, and this year's Dear Jelly. Hey, with DJ Jelly. And tracking back, that was Jennifer Hudson with We Gon' Fight. We gon' fight. If you're just tuning in, we're having a conversation about getting promise rings after 30. Promise rings after 30. What does it mean? What does a promise ring mean? What is the purpose of a promise ring after 30? What is the difference between a promise ring and an engagement ring after 30? Would you be excited to get a promise ring? I just don't know. But one thing I do know is the programming you hear on WXNA is made by people just like you. This station is completely homegrown, featuring nearly 80 DJs from the community bringing their unique voices and tastes to the airwaves. And it's all supported by friends and neighbors whose generosity keeps WXNA going. That's the community radio. That's what community radio is all about. And all of us need to chip in for it to work. Do your part and donate now at WXNAFM.org. All right, we're having a conversation. We're talking about promise rings. What is the purpose of them? How would you feel if you got one? What's the difference between an engagement ring? I mean, if we're over 30, why need a promise ring at all? Why not just wait for the engagement ring? Joyce says, you said you want to hear what the guys say. Oh, Joyce says, you said you want to hear what the guys say. I asked my husband, Lou. Hey, Lou. And he says, it's kind of weird. Big mixed message on the promise ring. Not a good sign. A confident man would offer an engagement ring or wait until he's ready to do that. All right, so that is from Lou. Lou is saying it's weird to give a woman an engagement, promise ring. Hey, Markeisha, hey. VL says a promise ring means just that. And that's my thing. What does it mean? What does it mean? Does it mean something different to everybody else, or is there something symbolic that is there a standard meaning that a promise ring is supposed to mean? Is there a standard symbol? Like if you get this promise ring, no matter what age, should we know what it means? And is there an expiration on the promise rings? Because people talking about getting promise rings 17, 18, but is there expiration? Are we still waiting on said gentleman to come back because he made a promise? Help me understand. Jenna says he was promising to marry me when we were ready. Okay, so that was at 17. You in your 30s. Is he still working on that? Is the priest still? Is he still supposed to be held good on that promise? How does this work? Kiara says, "What are you promising though? That's what I want to know." That's exactly. Kiara is a married woman, and Joyce is the married woman, and they feel like they're saying the same thing. Like what? Kiara says, "I understand what it means when you're younger. But as an older adult, you should know what you want." Kiara says, "I wouldn't want a promise. I'd want something more solidifying." So is a promise not, is it a placeholder? What are we, I don't understand the whole promise ring thing. I'm just going to be honest. I don't understand it. I didn't understand it as a kid because I wanted to know, is that holding you to that thing? Is it like, help me understand. Nora says, "I'd rather have an engagement ring." Exactly. Or nothing at all until something, more serious. Kiara, I think an engagement ring is more official. I agree. VL says, in context, we would be in a relationship and have the outlook of a committed relationship. So is the promise ring a practice engagement ring in your 30s? Because we're already in a committed relationship, right? Like, do we need jewelry to say we're in a committed relationship? Because I think earlier somebody said it was like a placeholder until you get married, but that's what an engagement ring is, a placeholder. This is somebody I'm planning on marrying. So then a promise ring, is that saying this is somebody I really like and one day maybe we'll marry? I don't get it. Nora says, but at 50, y'all really don't have time to waste. Clink her down if you want her or keep dating others. Don't waste her time with a promise. I mean, at 30 is my book. I'm just saying. Tia says, I think if my man gave me a promise ring as a 40-plus-year-old woman, I would just show it to friends and say it was a gift. How is a promise ring distinguishable from any other ring? Okay. So her ring was like a solitaire, blue sapphire type of thing. I mean, yeah, it was really pretty. It's really pretty. But I can definitely understand that. That's a really good point. I don't even know. No, I would tell my closest friends. I would do that as well, Tia. She said, she would just show her friends and say he gave it to me as a gift, which is probably what I would do. I probably wouldn't even say it was a promise ring. I'm talking about be like, girl, like, L, would you wear it on your left finger? Is that standard that the promise ring is to be worn on your left ring finger? Nora says, some people get engaged at 6 months. Yeah, I mean, I know people who've gotten engaged after 3 weeks of knowing each other and they've been married over 10 plus years. I know people who have been engaged after 10 days of knowing each other and they're getting ready to celebrate their 60th wedding anniversary. I mean, everybody is different. So there definitely is no time frame, which is why I'm curious about the whole promise ring thing. Jenna says, it was cute as a teenager. We weren't ready to be engaged or married at 17. Do you still have the promise ring, Jenna? That's what I want to know. Or do you give it back when you break up? How does this work? You know what I'm saying. Yes, I know what you're saying. Keenan says, Nut, if you buck Jenna Morgan, I feel you. Tag team. So they fighting if you showing up with a promise ring. Nora says, it couldn't have made sense to her if she's asking us. I mean, she doesn't know. She doesn't know, and she doesn't want to ask him because she doesn't want to hurt his feelings because he seemed excited to gift her with this promise ring. Keena Lynn Wright, we're knucking and bucking and ready to fight, says Jenna. Nora says, I think I'm hearing more of what VL is saying. Okay. Maybe because they are older, but not ready for engagement. The man is making a display of love to prove that he is serious about the relationship. See, now that sounds sweet. That sounds sweet. I'm not even going to argue with that. Now that spoke to me, said that way. That spoke to me that way. Now that I can understand. Nora says, do you return promise rings if you don't get married? What's the protocol? That's what I want to know. I'm trying to understand. What is the protocol? Do you return the ring if you grow up and you don't marry said person? Or is there expiration on this promise? How long is this promise? They say, here go my promise ring to you because I'm not ready to marry you right now, but one day I'm going to be ready. So if one day you're going to be ready, when is one day? One day could be 10 years from now. When is there an expiration date? One day? Jenna said, we broke up and he's married now. Oh, Lord, he broke the promise. He broke the promise. Do you got the ring? You still have the ring? She's asking, Nora's asking the same thing I'm asking. Jenna, did you keep the ring or return it? This is deep. Jenna says, nope, Nora, I kept it, still have it. I think he tried to get it back, but I was like, no, sir, LOL. Okay, so Jenna, you still got said promise ring. Okay. Nora says, that's my point. Engagement ring or nothing, exclamation mark. Jenna says, thank you, Lou. Smart man. Joyce says, there's no rush into getting engaged, and I think it's sweet. So, Joyce, are you saying, now your husband, Lou, has already said he thinks promise rings are weird. So are you on the other side saying you think promise rings are sweet? Because your husband said it's weird, but it sounds like you're saying you think it's sweet. I am going to play an oldie because it sounds like this is what he's saying. It sounds like he's saying, you know, he's crazy over you. He's crazy over you. Crazy. So this is why I'm giving you a engagement ring. I'm gonna play for better or for worse. Because that's what he's saying. Even though I guess if you get it as a teenager, there's aspiration, because when you grow up, it's optional. Is that how they work? So promise rings are optional as a teenager because we grow up and might change our mind, go different ways. Joyce says no give backs on a gift. It's a promise ring. Somebody broke a promise. You listen to Dear Jelly on the X. Y'all are cracking me up. Y'all are cracking me up. Yeah, I said, well, I gave engagement rings back. Because some people, sometimes that's the easier way to actually like break free, is to be like, take it back. But no take backs on a gift. I don't know. Kenneth, your word should be enough in such a new relationship. Yeah, that's what my thought is. Your word should be enough. Like, or just a jewelry. I'm taking this, hey, if it's jewelry, you just want to treat me to some jewelry, give the jewelry. Why does it have to be a promise ring? Jenna says, it's cute and sweet as a teen, but once we are grown, it's a no. Jenna said, don't practice engagement ring me. How can I say? Nora, I wouldn't let a promise ring stop me from meeting my husband It would not be worn on my ring finger. Now, I mean, but are you supposed to wear it on your? I am ready. Are you supposed to wear it on your ring finger? I take for you. Are you supposed to wear it on your ring finger? Is what I want to know. She better ask him. I don't think she's gonna ask him. This is a conversation. This is a conversation that should be had. She should ask him. Do it nicely, but ask. She's not gonna ask him. She already told me. Murder she wrote. My heart she wrote. Tia, at this point, folks are in a relationship for years, literally. So is a promise ring necessary? Right! Other than to give notice to all other men that you have her somewhat locked down. She locked down on a promise. But isn't that what an engagement ring is, though? A lockdown promise? Nora, I stand with Lou. Men typically know what they want and go after it. Ooh, song's over. Whoops. You're listening to WXNA LP Nashville 101.5 FM, and you are tuned into Dear Jelly. I'm with DJ Jelly. Hey, hey, hey. Tracking back, that was Kitty with For Better, For Worse. Kitty, For Better, For Worse. If you're just joining the conversation, we're so glad that you're here. And we are talking about promise rings after 30. Promise rings after 30, like, what do they mean? What should we take away from that? Would you accept a promise ring? Would you be excited about promise ring? What exactly does it mean? Do you wear it on your promise finger, on your ring finger, the same finger that you do when you're engaged? So many questions. And I really appreciate everybody that has tuned in and has given their thoughts. So Keita says, your word should be enough in such a new relationship. Jenna says, it's cute and sweet as a teen, but once you are grown, it's a no. Jenna says, don't practice engagement ring me. LOL. Definitely not at my age. Tia says, I wouldn't wear it on my ring finger. So where are you supposed to wear it, though? I mean, is it supposed to be worn on your ring finger the same way? Joy says, why not a promise necklace or bracelet? Okay, so a promise necklace or bracelet, that could be pretty. It could still be a promise. And then Joy says, what about a promise puppy? Get her a promise puppy. There you go. Get him a promise puppy. Here's a way that I want to show you that I am serious about this commitment. I'm so serious, I'm going to give you the responsibility of taking care of another life, a pet. Promise puppies. That could be like a hit, right? Promise puppies. Nora says, I wouldn't let a promise ring stop me from meeting my husband. It would not be worn on my ring finger. So what if he wants it on your ring finger? Jenna says she better ask him. She's not going to ask him. Jenna says this is the conversation should be had. She should ask him, but do it nicely, but ask. I mean, but she accepted it. So going back and asking him might be kind of awkward. Tia says, at this point, folks are in a relationship for years, literally. So is a promise ring necessary other than to give notice to all other men that you have her somewhat locked down? Nora says, I stand with Lou. Men typically know what they want after it. They don't leave room for confusion when they have certainty. And certainty is necessary, okay? Jenna, right, I'll take earrings or a necklace as a gift. Okay, so we have the promise necklace, the promise bracelet, the promise earrings, the promise puppy. So many other things other than the promise ring, right? Jenna says, tell I said, don't be scared. She better ask that man. Nora says, this conversation could give her the clarity she needs to really understand where his head is at and what she really means to him. I mean, he says he's in love and he gave her a promise ring. Whoops. Oh, The CDC recommends protecting yourself and others against coronavirus by staying up to date on your COVID-19 vaccines. The new booster protects against both the original virus and the Omicron variants, BA.4 and BA.5. For eligibility and vaccination locations near you, visit vaccines.gov. Tia says, engagement rings come with folks asking about a wedding date. Promise rings could drag on forever. I think that was my question. How long do we hold on to the promise? How long? Jenna says, I think I wore it on my right hand ring finger. Okay, so you wore yours. Nora says, I don't want a promise dog. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's funny to me. I don't want one either. Nora says, I don't want a promise dog. Dogs are like children, and that'll tie me to someone if we break up. Well, then that might be a good reason to gift a promise dog because you're connected. He's showing that he or she is serious. So they're giving you a promise dog to show commitment because dogs are like children, right? Maybe that's why Joyce suggested that, right, Joyce? Is that why you suggested a promise dog? Jenna said, don't call it promise. Just, I wanted to get you something to say I love and care about you. And I think Nora is agreeing with you by saying exactly. It sounds like the consensus is that y'all are not with the whole promise ring. I appreciate everyone that has given thought as to why someone would want a promise ring, how these promise rings work. It sounds like the general consensus is that's a no. That is a no for the promise ring. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. It's definitely what it feels like. Basically, if you can, like Keena was saying earlier, I was definitely with what Keena was saying earlier, where she was like, just give me the words. But now I kind of want a promise necklace or earrings or a bracelet. I don't want the dog though. I don't want a promise dog. You can miss me with the dog, but you can meet me with the promise bracelet. Either way, you're letting them know that you are in love, that they mean the world to you, hopefully. I just don't get the promise ring thing. Jenna says, it's a no. If I'm not a child, don't give me a promise ring. Nora says, give me promise money. Wait. What is promise money? What is promise money? How much is promise money? Because some of us may have received promise money unintentionally. All right, Joyce says, according to Macy's, the tradition of gifting promise rings dates back to ancient times when rings engraved with romantic poems were exchanged as a symbol and promise of love. Nowadays, it often means a couple's commitment to each other or a declaration of monogamy, especially if they have been dating for some time. Okay, so it literally means, thank you, Joyce. It literally means that this is just someone's way of saying, I know we're in a relationship, but I am committing to you. I am committing to you. This is my declaration of monogamy. So now we know the literal meaning of the promise ring is that we are promising. It's just a declaration of saying it's just me and you, boo. Joyce, why aren't we talking about sex? What do you mean? What does sex have to do with the promise ring? Let me know. Jenna says yes. Promise money. Y'all, what is promise money? Now, y'all just getting extra. No, he gonna take that promise money and he gonna give y'all a promise puppy. Jenna, just say that and give me a necklace or earrings. Why does he have to give you anything at all? Why can't he just say, I'm in love? I'm in love. I'm in love. Here's I'm in Love by Patron King. And it's a Dear Jelly RBX. Not just say that and give me some earrings. Y'all are hilarious. So you ain't gonna take a puppy. You're gonna take promise money. I'm in love. I'm in love. The I'm in love would do, but every kiss begins with K. Oh, I haven't heard that in years. I haven't heard that in years. Every kiss begins with K. And does. And does. And every engagement begins with E in every Obama. That don't make sense, but I'm just saying. That wasn't going away. Oh, Joyce said, when no one said anything, no one, no one said anyone, wait, no one said anyone about promising monogamy. What's up, Juan?
Hey, Johnny.
How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Welcome back. Been gone forever. Kidding. Whew. Juan said, how's everybody doing? Tia said, hey, DJ Juan.
Yeah.
Will you listen?
No.
Jenna said, hey, DJ Juan.
Yeah.
How y'all like Juan with this long hair? Slicking it back like a gangster.
Sneaky.
You're listening to WXNA LP Nashville 101.5 FM, and tracking back, that was Patron King with I'm in Love. Speaking of being in love, we're definitely grateful for everybody that has tuned in, everybody that has given their thoughts. We really appreciate you. We love you. We love you dearly. If you're just tuning in, we are closing out, but we're talking about receiving a promise ring over 30. Your significant other presenting you with a promise ring. And earlier, Joyce gave us the meaning of promise ring according to Macy's. And she wants to know, like, why are we talking about sex? No one said anything about promising monogamy. It makes sense. I won't do it with no one else. No one said anything about promising monogamy. I think it was an assumed thing, but that definitely is, I guess, another reason why it would be sweet to some to receive a promise ring or necklace or puppy. Jenna says, but if you like it, put a ring on it. Okay. Jenna says, actually put an engagement ring on it. That is, LOL. This is for you, Juan. Tia wants to know where are your glasses. And she said, I'm sorry, guys. So we're having a live conversation, and some of the people that are in the live chat are able to see. DJ Juan is in the house. Shout out to DJ Juan. He's in the house. And DJ Juan is in the house. He's been growing his hair out longer. His beard is a little more bushier. Yeah, I know he just got married, so we're trying to figure out, like, what is going on. And his hair is all slick to the back. And so those that are able to see him, she said, okay, Tia said, okay, Juan, keeping it spicy for the missus.
Yeah.
Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. That's what she said. See, it's right there.
Nice.
That's hilarious. Love you too, Joyce. We are so, I'm grateful. I wouldn't want to do the show without you. Couldn't do it without you. Y'all, if y'all want to stay tuned for the International Echo with DJ Juan, please stay tuned in to WXNAFM.org. Otherwise, I will see you same time, same place next week. Let me know something you want to talk about. We don't share names because we like to protect the innocent, but we definitely want to, talk about it, have a conversation. It helps us all. It helps strengthen us all. All right. Have a great one. The next voice that you will hear will be that of DJ Juan with International Echo. Have a great one, y'all. All right. Love y'all. Gotta go. So Juan can get ready. See, setting up his records back there. Love you. Have a great week.